So for our next adventures in the Elder Scrolls Online, it's to Summerset Isle. The orders of Queen Irene are that people should be allowed access to it who are not simply Altmer. And as well as the digital version, I ordered the collector's edition. So I thought we'd do a little unboxing of it when it eventually arrived. So, here it hopefully is, inside this Amazon box. Here it is then. So, first impressions, obviously, suitable size, but we know there's going to be a fairly substantial model inside it. As seems to be typical these days with MMO expansions, it's a fairly plain front. On the side you've got the, it gives you the digital rewards you're going to get with the game. And on the back, it tells you some about the physical ones. And let's have a look inside. You can go over there. Okay, it's one of these boxes. I hate these things. These are the ones where, there we go. So, you can see this. The first thing we're witnessing to is, of course, the most impressive piece within the physical collector's edition, which is the statue of Mephala, the Daedric Prince of Murder, Sex and Lies. She's got her seatbelt on there. Wasn't quite sure what I was expecting with this, whether it would be a painted model or, you know, as it actually is. It's like a computer type effect. Now, I'm just going to carefully remove the scepter. We have a disc in there, we'll look at that in a moment. Let's get rid of that. So, Mephala, let's see. Oh dear. I'm guessing, I mean, it's not going to feed, you can see this here, it's not going to feed into her hand, so I imagine you have to snap it in. I'm not going to do that just yet, so I don't want to bugger it up. So looking at it initially, as I say, it looks quite nice, but I am a bit concerned. I was a little bit concerned we get things where it's a little bit, or it could be a little bit fragile. I think it's one of those where you don't really want to drop it. I'm not suggesting you should really want to drop any statues. You've got these spiders here with, you know, legs that could look like they could easily break off if you press them. I don't want to test them out at all. But, you know, and it's not too heavy, of course. I mean, this isn't made of like pewter or anything like that. It's like a resin that it's made of. A little bit of a join here where it's clearly been moulded, but, you know, from the angle I think that you would look at it, it looks very nice. You could easily put this on your bookshelf or computer desk or wherever you want to display it, and from the angle you'd aim to look at it, it looks pretty good. Looks like a weathered metallic statue, which I think is the effect it's going for. Onto the disc itself, so we'll put the file aside for one moment. So, steelbook case with the disc in there. We've got the code, which you don't need to see. What else have we got in here? Oh, just benefits of the ESO Plus membership, of course. Some typical keybinds, but, you know, quite frankly, you ought to be changing most of those anyway when you get in. Oh, some some warnings. I suppose this comes on all of it. Play in a well-lit room. Do not play if you are tired, drowsy or fatigued. Rest for at least 10 to 15 minutes per hour while playing. Yeah, right. Sit further away from the screen. Well, how far away from the screen does it now sit? Play the game on a smaller screen. Hang on a minute. Play the game on a smaller screen. Again, how do you know how big my screen is? I don't know. I don't know. Now then, what other goodies have we got here? Let's put her there. We'll put her Staff of Ra there. Map. I think, yes. A map of Summerset Isle. Oh, it feels quite nice. The paper feels quite nice. This looks like it's the sort of thing you could, to be careful with it, but you could potentially put this in a glass display. So yes, we've got a map of Summerset Isle, which is of course the new zone for the expansion. Now, one of my favourite bits, I suspect, is here. This is supposed to be like Razendar's journal. Let's have a look in here. The effect looks pretty nice. Razendar's report on the mirror court of the proxy queen. I'll read a little bit out. You've got some nice brush script there. To Her Royal Majesty Queen Irene I, Eagle Primarch of the Almeri Dominion, High Queen of the Summerset Isles, etc., etc. Greetings, O Queen, from her humble servant Razendar, the eyes of the Queen, who though preeminent in his trade, of intrigue lacks an official title, because when he has an official title, one must go to many meetings. So tedious. Thus, to avoid another meeting, Raz hereby submits this official report on what he has been doing on Her Majesty's behalf in the case of the secret cabal of the mirror court of the proxy queen. Melodramatic, yes, but all true, as your Majesty shall hear. So what we've got in here, of course, is the account. We've got some nice artwork in there as well. I am a huge fan of the artwork in ESO, and some of this, the stuff in here as well looks very good. On the Clockwork City, let's have a look. So, sort of thing that's not going to be, like, it's not so easy to put on a bookcase, just with the normal books. But the actual feel of it when you're reading is very good. The feel of the faux leather again works pretty well. And it's quite nice the way it works out actually with the sort of text in here, as it sort of gives you some background. With just the images cut in there. Sometimes it's nice when you've got a large art book and you can see these things in much larger scale. And sometimes when you've got like things like with a bit of concept art and scenes like this mixed in, it just makes for a nice pleasant read as well. Let's skip towards the back, see what we've got towards the end of it. Oh, some pages to write our own accounts in. I don't think we'll be spoiling it with that. And the final words I've just clocked here actually. Bright moons, Razendar likes stories with happy endings. So I'm guessing there is one. I'll have to read it all through later. It looks like I see that might well be from Summerset Isle there. It doesn't have a caption for that piece of artwork. Yeah, Thete in Summerset, Volume 1, Sinkhole in Summerset. I actually had, because this box arrived 2 days later than it should have done, I've actually had a chance to play in Summerset, so I've been there, done a little quest around that sinkhole, exploring Daedric summoners. So, very nice indeed. So I'm just going to try and compile this back together so we can show off what we're actually getting here. So what we've got is we've got the map of Summerset. Again, a lot of expansions these days you tend not to get these. I think it's always a very nice touch. If they're done really well, I wouldn't say it's done brilliantly. I mean, would I necessarily put this in a display thing and put it on the wall? I wouldn't really. I don't think it would sit alongside my more authentic version of the map of Middle-earth or anything like that. But the fact that you're getting a map of the new area in it is very good. It's a nice thought. I think it's the sort of thing that really MMOs or role-playing games in general should just do as a matter of course, because this idea that we are explorers, that's at the heart of all role-playing games. Really a map is the obvious thing to give out, so big thumbs up for me on that one. The art book, there always should be some sort of art book in there, so we've got that in Razendar's journal, along with the story to read through it. And as I say, from a reading point of view, I think a book like this is a lot better. For displaying purposes, well, not so much displaying as actually just putting in a bookcase, maybe not so much, but if you were to do, you could actually, I suppose, display this as an ornamental piece. Actually, it would work a lot better as well. The statue, again, you always get like a physical object, don't you? Some indicator of what's to come here. Mephala is more impressive than most trinkets that you will get in these collector's editions. It does look very good. You know, the downside to a painted model, of course, is sometimes they're not painted terribly well. Sometimes they are, and when they are, they look really good. Something like this looks like it's something from the world itself, obviously on a smaller scale. You can imagine a statue, a metallic statue. It's been weathered a little bit to Mephala, looking very similar to this. I just have to be a little bit careful where you have it. Don't have it in a position where you could knock anything onto it, because I would worry about a lot of the extremities there, and I still, you can see, haven't had the balls to actually put the staff in her hand yet, but I shall give that a go at some point as well. And the steelbook case, I mean, these things, you know, they did this with Morrowind as well, and we don't really use the physical discs anymore. I mean, if it came with a disc of, say, music, I don't think that's what this really is, unfortunately. It certainly gives no indication on the box in terms of what's contained within that that's what it is. I think this is actually just I don't even know what it is, a disc that you put in and it starts to download of the game. Obviously the game won't just be on here, it'll just take to the website where you download it yourself, I guess. I don't know without actually putting it in the computer just yet, but it, you know, were it an audio disc with music on, that, you know, that would be very nice. Then I wouldn't mind keeping that on the bookcase there. In fact, I used the Morrowind one to do just that, just to put you know, just music CD and put it on there. So I might well do the same. I might just get rid of this. I'll have a look what's on it. If there's nothing actually on it, likely just get rid of it or shove it into my disc wallets and actually put a disc that I like playing on the stereo now and then and put this with the stereo, because, you know, it does look very attractive. Not as good as the Morrowind one, actually. Not as interesting. It's just got the very, very basic design there. Not even embossed. So, you know, I would say not as good as the Morrowind one. But these cases, I do like these cases. Well, I'm not going to damage her appendages there. Let's just put that there. I do worry about this statue, though. But I have got a place I can put this where nothing will knock onto it. And I'm sure it'll look very splendid. So, I'll also have a look, of course, at the digital rewards that we've got in-game as well.
In terms of the main digital rewards, there is a mount, the Bloodshadow Wraith Steed, which we can have a little look at here. Oh, goes rather well with my set there. There's also the Divine Prosecution outfit style, which we can see here. In terms of pets, we have ourselves a fledgling griffin. Where is the little monkey? There he is. Ah, come on, little fella. Probably best not to have him out when you have to go and actually kill a griffin. But there you go. In terms of emotes, we have Happy Face. Whoa. And as a counterpoint, we also have Sad Face. As well as, ta-da! And finally, memento, we have a Psijic Scrying Talisman. Now, there is one other thing, but this was not from the physical edition. This is the main reason why it wasn't actually a big deal when I didn't get the physical copy on the day that it was promised, that it was supposed to be arriving. Although, to be fair, ZeniMax did allow people whose copy hadn't arrived, with some evidence that they'd pre-ordered it, to still get access to the game. But I'd already got the digital version as well. And the reason for that is because there was another mount that was available if you pre-ordered the digital version. Unfortunately, not the physical version, which was, you know, deeply unfair, I thought, if you wanted a little nightmare cinch there. Now, it's possible you still get this in the physical one. I can't really tell. Looking at the box, it certainly doesn't indicate. It doesn't list as one of the things. Oh, there's a few other people. It doesn't list as one of the rewards that you get with it. But it would seem to me to be more than a little unfair not to get it when you've paid much more for the physical one. You know, even if it was on the condition that you pre-ordered it, because if you can provide evidence of a pre-order to get access to the game when the physical copy hadn't arrived, then surely you could have provided the same evidence to have got the mount. But, you know, there you are. So there is the grand unboxing of Summerset Isle. Apologies for the audio while I was unboxing it itself. I may have to set things up rather differently if I do other unboxings in the future. I was using the microphone and my camera, which, you know, is supposed to be able to do a reasonable job. Obviously didn't do as well as a job as the mic that I have attached to my computer is. But hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share for further content. And until next time, I'll see you later.